My name's Bimbola Akinbola, and I'm an artist in Chicago Performs 2022. I am a painter, I'm a performance maker, and I'm a scholar of visual art and performance. We are currently at the Greenleaf Art Center in Rogers Park. There are about 50 artist studios in this building. It's been around for a really long time and is a really delightful community space to have a studio. And they host like a number of events. So like there are art salons that happen. There are open studio events that people from the neighborhood come to. I think having a studio here just like makes me feel very connected to my neighborhood. There are so many different groups of people coexisting in Rogers Park in a way that feels really special, and you see it in the best way on the 4th of July, where it's like everyone is out on the beach and there are so many different types of music and genres of music playing loudly at the same time and fireworks going off in the background. People love Rogers Park. They love living in Rogers Park. They've lived here for a long time. I think there's a lot of like deep love and commitment to the neighborhood. And so it has felt easy to make community here because people are so invested in the practice of building community in Rogers Park. I make performance because I have too many questions and curiosities for them to be contained in one medium. As part of my scholarly work, I was writing about performance, or I was moved to performance through my research questions about diaspora. And part of that research meant that I really wanted to be engaging the body in a more immediate way. And so that led me to doing work with Dance Exchange in Tacoma Park, Maryland. And that kind of like broke open sort of the world of performance for me and embodiment. There's just a way that performance allows me to address questions that I can't sometimes through painting or through drawing or through writing. I'm really moved by Chicago's like DIY art history in general. And so like the history of apartment galleries and like people just putting on performances in their neighborhoods or in parks or at friends' houses. There's a way that in Chicago it just feels like possible to be an artist on your own terms and not necessarily have to be relying on institutions to make the things that you want to make with the people that you want to make it with. And so I'm really inspired by all of the people that are just making it work because they love what they do and not necessarily waiting for permission. The name of the piece is You Gotta Know It, a durational meditation on Black collectivity, labor, and joy. It is a 7-hour durational performance of the 18-step electric slide. It came to me actually during a Black performance theory symposium that I was doing in Arizona, which is sort of a gathering for Black scholars and practitioners to create performance and talk through performance. And there was a piece that featured the electric slide for just a short period of time. And it was really powerful the way once they started doing the electric slide, everyone just got up and started doing it in the space. And it was this really quick moment of joy. And so in the car later that night, I kind of said, like, oh, wouldn't it be so interesting to do a performance piece that was just like a 24-hour electric slide? And people in the car were like, we cannot do the electric slide for 24 hours. So originally it was based on the 8-hour workday. The museum is only open for 7 hours. And so it is 7 hours. Yeah. It's really motivated by questions around like, how can we use a shared choreography? Like you can get a bunch of strangers in a room that all know this dance, especially in Black space. And what can it tell us about being together, about being in community? The piece itself is set to a pretty eccentric soundscape that both has really fast music and slow music and ambient sound and poetry. And so it's not always clear how to do the electric slide to the sound that's happening. And so I'm really thinking about disorientation and orientation in this piece. I'm thinking about how in the performance, the electric slide as a shared choreography becomes a microcosm to explore all of the pieces of being in community, which starts with joy and with easeful ways of being together, but can also be frustrating, can also be filled with conflict, can also be disorienting. I think I'm wanting to think about how we can collectively get better at working through the parts of community that don't necessarily feel good or don't feel clear.